Regards from Zaporizhzhia, guys. This is actually the largest Ukrainian city, being the closest to the active battle zone in southern Ukraine. It's a big industrial city which received some missile attacks recently, and basically I'm now in one of those locations. I didn't expect to see it over here, but while I was walking on the avenue, I just noticed that there are no windows, and I was looking for the site of the explosion, and it looks like it happened exactly on this particular place, as you can see. So now it's being refurbished, but basically the windows here are off, and on the opposite side as well. Anyway, let's try to walk a little bit around the city, even though it's a little bit raining, but this will probably give us a kind of feel what's happening here. I'm accompanied by my friend Guillaume from France, and yeah, so the shock of that explosion was that big that it even affected the buildings on the opposite side of the avenue. Take a look over there. You see there are no windows, people passing by, and even on that building there are also no windows. In the meantime, guys are waiting for traffic, there is bus, and yeah, we are walking along this pretty wide, impressive avenue with some evidences of the Soviet architecture dating back from the early 50s of the 20th century, because Zaporizhzhia was a major, important industrial center. Some girl is also walking by somewhere, and the traffic is going, feels very normal as it can be, of course. What's your impressions?
I'm really glad to see that so close to the front lines people are living normally. They can walk, they can go to have drinks with their friends. That's new proof of the resilience of Ukrainian people, especially here. But that's definitely so sad to see that because they are living in this part of the country, they're striking by unfortunate fate and not the best neighbor.
We were unfortunate to have this neighbor called Russia. Well, but what we can say, this is the story that Ukrainians have to fight for, and definitely Ukraine has already won in the hearts of people. Now it's time to make the decisive battle on the field itself. And very close from here in the south, it's basically a dozen kilometers, there's a front line. I don't think we will go there, it's probably too risky, but it will still give us a chance to walk around the city, being in such proximity to the war zone.
No, that's really fascinating to see how much Ukraine and Ukrainian people were fighting with Russia for centuries, and now it's like a new round of fight between the two countries, between the two group of people.
For us, this is the story of the survival, because Russia was always dominating, not always, last 300 years, just want to remind you, not always. Only 300 years, which is a short period of time in the historical perspective. For example, our common history with neighboring Poland has much more centuries together, so keep it in mind, and it's important in this war to think more broad, in terms of history, not only in terms of one generation. And I see this in the future as Ukraine, eventually cutting a line with Russians and eventually joining the European community where we actually belong. We are slowly walking and we see another places, probably of which were affected by some kind of explosion nearby. Dobry dzień. By the way, guys, this is the memory of architecture, see? It's the sign that it's historical masterpiece for Ukraine, and also nice pedestrian avenue over here. However, if we look on the opposite side, this is, guys, the place of the most recent attack which happened here, with the amazing also historical building, yeah, and the rocket landed just in the middle of there. Many people unfortunately died, and the shock wave also went on the opposite side, destroying parts of this building. Oh wow. So basically, this lady, she just talked about Orikhiv. She is from Orikhiv. Orikhiv is a city south from here, exactly on the front line. And she told like every day they're being bombed. You should go and visit. I asked like, what is the like safe way to visit? She's like, well, I don't know. Usually they don't bomb in the morning. So basically, if we get there like by 10 a.m., we should be fine. But you know, it's
That's
like
still
if you're
risky.
very risky, and if you're not local, it's very, you know, like you don't know how. You need to spend more time in the area. So we'll see how we'll go with that one. And look, yeah, this is the result, direct hit in the middle of the modern city, in the middle of the avenue. So probably people were staying, waiting for the bus, and then wow, and the rocket is coming. No, actually it came at night, as I remember, so people were sleeping, and you can even see the structure of the apartments inside. Some door is closed, some door is open. Did you see anything like this before?
No.
In Kiev, no?
A little bit in Kiev, yes, but here it's completely different. So the level of discussion is higher. But still, it's not the front line. When we are close, it's still able to see.
Yeah. Anyway, let's now try to meet some local people. They are actually originally from the occupied territories, couple who came to Zaporizhzhia, and currently they are leading the local volunteer movement. Let's talk to them. We just arrived to a warehouse which is situated in a secret place in one of the buildings in Zaporizhzhia of YES NGO. They are one of the major local aid providers to the direct beneficiaries of people who live in villages closer to the front line. And as we see, here are the boxes from the World Food Program. It's pretty much absorbing the entire apartment. Also, as I see, these are the heaters, right? So who is going to use the heater?
Internally displaced people who registered and live in Zaporizhzhia.
So in the bigger blocks, people who stay in blocks,
Yeah.
They will have like per apartment probably one of those, because the energy system of Ukraine is damaged. So that's basically, it looks you are prepared. Yeah, well done. Okay, and some other minor food stuff over here.
What is your estimation for of beneficiaries in the places that you were able to reach?
The front line, yeah?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
I think at least maybe 5,000-10,000, yeah, people.
Maybe more.
Maybe more, even more, yeah. Because the population is not stable. It's not stable.
really
Sometimes
dangerous.
people go to the west when shelling increased. And for example, after 2 weeks they come back, and the situation changed very rapidly, very fast. And first track, we already appointed the communities.
Yes.
And we just to put from one car to another, and it was very fast process. I mean, I think it's maybe half of now. Yeah, you can see half of your food kits, only half, because yesterday we already put in another car, car of communities. So yeah, we try to do it fast. Very fast, as fast as we can.
This is really impressive, in fact, because for 1,320 food kits, you are able to distribute to them in a few days, and that's really definitely something.
Shall we try to join one of the 8 programs?
I think it's always interesting to understand perfectly the challenges and to see the process.
How it
on the
works. We are still checking out the security situation, and in the next following hours we'll decide are we going there or not in the following days. So stay tuned to watch this video, and you will see hopefully how this delivery process is actually happening on the field. So you, as I understood, you're basically not from Zaporizhzhia itself. Like you came here from some other area, yeah?
Yeah, but we were connected even before the war. We were connected to Zaporizhzhia because we had a lot of work here. So we, for example, visited Zaporizhzhia twice or 3 times for a week.
Sure.
Yeah, but we lived in Tokmak.
What Tokmak is like the regional center here in province.
Tokmak, yeah, it's big city with maybe 20,000 or 30,000 citizens. Yeah, but it's calm city
And this city is now under occupation.
Yeah.
So you lived under occupation there.
Yeah, we lived 3 weeks under occupation because we didn't have any opportunity to leave this city. But when people from Mariupol started to go out from Mariupol, and their road was they crossed the Tokmak, and we joined this Kelium. Yeah, and together with them we went to.
So you knew
Zaporizhzhia.
that they will be going.
Yeah, because they stopped in Tokmak for night.
Okay.
Yeah, and Tokmak residents helped a lot people from Mariupol. They helped them with food, with some clothes even, because people were in like pajamas. Yeah, and of course we every morning the columns from Mariupol formed in one of the spot in Tokmak, and we joined them and go together.
How was life under occupation?
It was terrible. It was terrible because because we didn't have a mobile connection, electricity, water, and other I don't know, happiness of our life. But of course it was maybe for several days, but then we but I don't remember mobile connection when we
for 1 week.
Yeah, we didn't have mobile connection for a week maybe, and after when we received the access to the information, we started to monitoring and to find opportunities to leave the city.
Like what about like the soldiers? Like the Russian soldiers were on the streets, like walking, or how did it work?
When we went on the street, we didn't take our mobile phone, for example, with us because it was dangerous, and they can just stop you and take your phone, and that's all, and go away. And of course it was a feeling when your life when
Nothing to cost.
yeah, and you can't manage your life. It's just under control of other person. You go on the street and walk it on the street and just see always and try to avoid military person. Yeah, but we started.
The third day of the war, we organized humanitarian stuff with other active headquarters, other active people from Tokmak.
Yeah, we organized humanitarian. So our humanitarian activities started in Tokmak. We organized a humanitarian headquarters, and maybe 2 weeks Russians didn't pay attention for our activity. But maybe on 3rd week they started to stop our volunteers and demand some improvement from them, some registration or something like that. And of course after that we stopped our activity and decided to
It's
leave
too
the
dangerous,
city.
yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, thanks God you're here now. Yeah, wow. Just notice about one thing. So the explosion, as we remember, happened over there, but how quickly Ukrainians are trying to rebuild stuff. So that part is still burned down, as you can see. But just next to it, we see the new advertisement already. Pharmacy. Old lady just bought something, and they're also writing "Відчинені," which means we are open, reminding to people that business has to work, economy has to continue. Take a look, guys, how impressive is that? It's written here, "Жилые дома завода Zaporizhzhia," like a living houses of Zaporizhzhia factory. And this is a really impressive building. Like being situated in the very center, it was like accommodation for the elite of people who were coming to Zaporizhzhia. That's really huge. And actually I was in Zaporizhzhia 2 years ago, and we had a tour with the local guide, and he was showing us this particular building as the example of a nice mid-20th century architectural masterpiece over here, and now it's being hit by the rockets. Wow. So we entered the inner yard of this building, and here is possible to see the destructive force of the explosion. Look, it's completely just cut the part of the building. We just were stopped by the police, and they checked all our documents, if we are not spies or not, and definitely I can understand it. The situation is very tense and very sensitive over here. I think it was the sign to stop filming and just relax and enjoy the city, guys. So that was a short video from Zaporizhzhia. Remember that the war in Ukraine is still ongoing. Thank you for all the support and attention coming from the entire world. And let's carry on, guys. This is the war not only of our country, but of the entire free world.